What's up, y'all? It's JMMA here, man. I'm back with another one, and today we will be talking about 10 things in Undisputed 3 that should be in UFC 5. If y'all haven't already, man, please slap that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. If y'all haven't already, man, join the family, join the gang, man. And without further ado, man, let's hop right into it. 10 things in Undisputed 3 that should be in UFC 5. With number one, and that is going to be the cage sitting position. In Undisputed 3, they really captured the animation really well of an opponent crawling back to the cage on the bottom and sitting on the cage. You can drag them down to the cage from the clinch. You can literally clamp their wrist down, ground and pound them out. You can transition. It was an amazing position. It should be in UFC 5. The reason being that we're more advanced technology wise than we were back when Undisputed 3 came out. A lot of fighters today, for example, Khabib uses that cage sitting position very, very well. So I'm really surprised that it wasn't in UFC 4, but I'm definitely looking forward towards the future, and it should be in UFC 5. Number 2 is going to be doctor stoppages, man. In Undisputed 3, the doctor would come in, well, the referee would stop the fight, and they would allow the doctor to come in and see if the cut or the bruising or whatever you had on your face was really, really bad. And it was up to that artificial intelligence doctor to determine whether if you taken enough damage to end the fight. I mean, we've seen over the years as MMA has evolved, especially, in today's age, a lot of doctor stoppages have happened. Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal is one of the more infamous ones that's happened more recently. So, I mean, there's no question why doctor stoppages shouldn't be in UFC 5. It will add a new variety towards the game. It will add a new way to KO opponents or get win over opponents in the game. And it's a real nice element to see, because for UFC 5 to be a quote-unquote true simulation game and not to have doctor stoppages is very surprising. Number 3 is going to be a more active ref. Now in UFC 4 specifically, when you're grounded pounding and you get like a grounded pound KO, or you knock someone down and you go for the finish, the ref is not the one who stops the fight. He's not the one who stops the fight. It's a momentary pause, and the ref can be like 100 feet away and he's calling off the fight. But in UFC Undisputed 3, the ref actually jumps in, stops you from punching, and stops the fight. That is a very, very good element that could be implemented in UFC 5. I mean, that's been going on even before Undisputed 3, refs jumping in and stopping and being active. And like I said before earlier, for EA to be as evolved as far as technology, and that is not in the game, it's very surprising. It needs to be in UFC 5. It adds more to the feel of the game, adds more to the feel of the experience. And number 5 is going to be the Flash KO animations. In Undisputed 3, the Flash KO animation was so beautiful. It didn't matter if it was the start of the fight, if it was the middle of the fight, if it was the end of the fight, first round, second round, third round, and so forth on. If you landed a big shot and your opponent was very vulnerable, it would be almost a flash KO, to where if you're about to punch on your opponent, going back to the most active referee point, if you were going back to the opponent, the ref, before you even tried to punch him, the ref will come in and stop the fight. That's what adds to the experience of MMA games, having that element. In UFC 4, it's just kind of like, the opponent gets knocked down, and then you have to ground and pound them out. It's like too much going on. So in UFC 5, they really need to rectify that. I hope they do rectify it. And number 5, it's going to be fighter uniqueness. In Undisputed 3, man, there was so much fighter uniqueness. If you look at how, in a way, someone like George St. Pierre with ground and pound, and then you look at someone like a Dan Hardy, he will ground and pound. It's two different styles of ground and pound. It's two different styles of striking, two different styles of uniqueness. The Superman punch, the variety of moves that the two fighters have, that really needs to be added into UFC 5, because there's really not much of that in the more recent EA UFC games. It's kind of like everyone feels the same. It's kind of like everyone kicks the same. There's a few fighters who do feel unique and different, but for the most part, it's just like everyone feels the same. And in EA UFC 5, man, you really need to bring that back and add it in, that element from Undisputed 3. Because Undisputed 3, if I was using Brock Lesnar, for example, who was the cover athlete for one of the Undisputed games, if I'm using Brock Lesnar, right, and then I'm going up against someone like a Dan Severn, there's going to be a complete difference in ground and pound. Dan Severn, I wouldn't say he was aggressive, but not as ferocious as someone like a Brock Lesnar. So the two ground and pounds is going to be different. You know what I mean? So yeah, fighter uniqueness definitely needs to be added. And coming in at number 6 is going to be the scoring system, and more particularly in the scoring system is going to be draws. EA, the most recent EA games have not been able to capture the feeling of draws in the scoring system. In Undisputed 3, there was a more of a realistic scoring system. The scoring system was very, very on point. I believe you were able to see the scoring system in between rounds. Don't quote me on that though, but I know there's for a fact draws in Undisputed 3. So definitely, that needs to be back in UFC 5. Like, how can you not have draws implemented in an MMA game? That sounds crazy, right? But sadly, in the more recent MMA games, particularly the EA UFC ones, they have not been in the game. So UFC 5, they definitely need to change the scoring system in general, because in Undisputed 3 it was very accurate, and they need to bring back in draws. So all right, then coming in at number 7 is going to be the better fight replays, man. UFC 5 definitely needs some better fight replays. In the UFC 4, they show leg kicks, you getting a front kick to a body. I don't want to see that, man. In Undisputed 3, man, they showed you knocking down opponents, getting vicious ground and pound off, submission attempts, you taking down people, slamming people down, you getting rocks, things like that. That needs to be in UFC 5. I'm gonna keep bringing this up. You're gonna hear me say this throughout the rest of the video. No way, we've come so far as technology and game making and simulation and things like that. No way better. You can't add better fight replays. Like, come on. Like a game this old has better fight replays than most of the newer MMA games. Definitely needs to be in UFC 5. All right, coming in at number 8 is going to be transition fluidity. In EA Undisputed 3, when you would transition, or when you would mess up trying to transition out from someone's guard, or when you're on the bottom trying to transition, if you would mess up, the fluidity of those reversals or those sweeps or those transitions was so crispy and clean. There was no pauses. It was just like the snap of a finger, just like how you would see in real life. In the newer EA UFC games, it's kind of like, no, it's a pause in between, and I kind of hope they do not put that in UFC 5. In UFC 5, it needs to be fluid transitions, man, just like how Khabib does it, just like how Islam Makhachev does it, just like how someone like a Daniel Cormier or John Jones used to do it. So that is something that definitely needs to be added in UFC 5. Coming in at number 9 is going to be small little details that Undisputed 3 had, like situational awareness things. Y'all hear me say that a lot on this channel, or going to if you're new. Situational awareness is a very key thing. I'm going to play this clip of Cain Velasquez, right? It's going to be playing in the background while I'm talking. Cain Velasquez gets up, right? He's like, basically he tries to get up, right? The minute he gets up, before he even like fully stands up, he's on his knees shooting for a double leg. And in the new UFC games, bro, there's like, you have to fully stand up and then go for another takedown. And look at this, he's on his knees shooting for a takedown. More situational awareness. The sprawl position was more smaller details. The sprawl positions, takedown into a sprawl, the knees to the body from backside, inside control, elbows while posturing up. A lot of things that should be in from Undisputed 3 need to be in UFC 5, and this is one of them. And for number 10, speaking of posturing up, it's gonna be the timer that's on the posturing up. In Undisputed 3, bro, if you were like real good, you can stay posture up for as long as you want. In the newer games, it's kind of like you could get off a few shots and then you got to go back down and then posture back up. In UFC 5, man, they need to take some notes from Undisputed 3, and they really need to let you stay posture up as long as you can. As long as you can. I'm emphasizing you, because your opponent can be very good off the bottom and he can keep dragging you down for as long as he wants. But if you're very good and your opponent on the bottom is not, you should stay up as long as you want to, pounding him out, pounding his face, mauling him. Let's talk now, Khabib style. Look at Khabib versus Michael Johnson. Look how long he was just posturing up, ground and pounding Michael Johnson. Then he come over. Things like that should be implemented in UFC 5, man. Please, EA, take some notes from Undisputed 3, put it in UFC 5. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of the video, man. If you are new and you stuck around and watched this entire video, please subscribe to my channel, man. It will really mean a lot. Hit that like button, subscribe, man. 2022 is going to be a big year for us, man. So please come join the family, man. Stick around for that journey. Till next time, man. Peace, love, and prosperity. Love every single one of y'all, man. Do something productive with your day. Beating your meat is not productive. See y'all next time, man. It's been JMMA, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.